And we're live.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes, this is David, and together we are staying hydrated the old-fashioned way.
Well, I'm doing.
You
I'm
actually
on
are
water
staying
tonight.
hydrated. There you go.
Yeah, I'm
So
recovering from the global plague sniffles of death.
that's right.
So I'm
So
on water.
you're not totally immune. You did actually get a vaccination, and you still got it.
Careful, you can't say that. You can't say the V word because it'll come up on the thing.
You did
I
get
got.
an
I
injection
was
of.
treated for. I was treated for the global plague sniffles of death, but ended up catching global plague sniffles of death anyway. But just on the in case that the water is not enough, I do have a shipping out of Boston amber lager here, just on the in case. And I did, whilst I was at said medical facility, aforementionedly, I did actually make sure to ask them if I was going to be okay to drink beer, and they said it was really fine. So I'm happy about that, and we're gonna move on.
Well,
But so I've got the check.
alcohol is actually a antiseptic.
Yes, so I'm gonna treat inside and out.
There you
So,
go.
but you know me, I mean, I've always got this glass of water.
It's true. You drink more water than anybody else I know.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So that's what I mean. So I've got the Jack's Abbey, and I've got a couple other Oktoberfest sitting over there. Not that I'm going to try to break any of my personal bests for number of beers drank during a podcast tonight, but
Maybe not tonight.
you know, I will, just for a fair warning, I will probably mute from time to time just to, have a coughing fit and, halfway die and then come back. So if I cut out all of a sudden, that's what's happening. So, but that's what I've got. It's that time of year. It's the most wonderful time of year. It's when all the Oktoberfests are in the stores, and it's just the greatest beer. So what I noticed that you got your boot out this week. I had mine out last week, and you got your boot out this week. So tell us about what you got in there.
You made fun of my normal human-sized pint glass that I was using last week, so I thought I had to step up my game. Got out the old boot, which is filled up to about a slipper's height at this point.
But he got out of slippers.
But not only is it Oktoberfest season, it's pumpkin beer season. So right now,
and we're off the air.
And what? No way, pumpkin beer, man. Pumpkin beer is great. This is Southern Tier's Pumpkin. So anybody who likes a pumpkin beer, this is a good one. You would actually like this.
I don't know much about pumpkin beer, but I do know about pumpkin. I know it's a huge thing, and there's actually billboards out here in Syracuse.
Yeah.
That market for pumpkin as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, I got to admit. And you say you're drinking shipping out of Boston?
Yeah, shipping out of Boston. It's from Jack's Abbey. It's craft lager, and it is. I mean, it's got to be one of the best amber lager beers I think I've ever had.
You say it's a craft
it's just Jack's Abbey craft lager. That's the name of the brewery.
Oh, craft.
Shipping out of Boston.
I thought you said craft. You're in the that sort of New England region, so I thought maybe it was
you never know.
Crustacean beer.
No. No, it's not a crustacean amber lager. It probably though is the best amber, just straight up amber lager.
Yeah.
Everything else I got over there is Oktoberfest, including I found the Cleveland brewery that I think we talked about a little bit last week. The the amber from up north in Cleveland, the lake, the people. Elliot Ness. There we go.
Elliot Ness. Yeah, from Great Lakes Brewery.
Yeah. So I've got that over there too, and then a couple of Oktoberfest, and I've still got my Wailing Wench in the main fridge in there.
You do like,
but that's the gag beer. It's a hoppy beer. I mean, it literally says wailing with hops or screaming with hops or something like that. So it's in a cool bottle. It's got got a picture of a lady on it with a exposed and heaved bosom. So it's a fun topic to laugh about, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna like the beer.
It's true. Beer can bottle artwork is it can get pretty interesting.
Yeah. So and then there's quite a bit of cool ones around here, and I found that branching out store that I think I got it right here. I keep it on hand so that I can show it every time. the branching out
Yeah.
bottle shop there that's in here in the Syracuse area. Camillus, New York. I don't know. It's down the street.
You
Everything.
gotta get them on as a
It
guest.
turns out every time I turn around here, it's another city. I'm here. I'm in Brewerton. I go 3 minutes down the road. I'm in Cicero. I go somewhere else in Syracuse. There's just instead of just having a big city area like Columbus here in Columbus for a huge area, but here it's just everywhere you go, you're in a different little city.
Right.
A little bit different. So I think we have with our new format, we're talking about what? Some news?
Yeah, we got some interesting industry news to talk about today, and we're also going to talk about some NFT scams. So some nifty scams. So, but first, I think some industry news that you wanted to share. That's
Yes,
really
it
interesting.
is. This is most of the people I've said this to, they were like, no, that's not real. There's no way that's real.
Yeah.
Amazon plans to open large retail brick and mortar locations, liking them to department stores.
Yeah. Which is
To
Amazon.
department stores. This is Amazon. Okay, this is the people who. Now, don't get me wrong. Uh, I happen to absolutely agree with this move. I absolutely agree with this move. Wes over there, Wes is always the digital guy,
Well,
digital guy. I'm the guy that's over here screaming, customer service will beat it out any day of the week. Customer service will beat convenience.
well, I'm the
If you have customer service, great customer service. Now, if Amazon goes in and doesn't provide the customer service that they need to actually execute this,
yeah.
it's going to be a colossal failure.
Well, so I'm the digital guy, but I've had thoughts on this for a while. So Amazon's been talking about this for years, right? So,
Yeah.
they first toyed with the idea when they bought Whole Foods. Everybody thought this is crazy. Amazon's buying Whole Foods. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
That's where they got their feet wet. That's where they got their sea legs, and it worked out pretty good. The arrangement's really, really good. The different Whole Foods locations serve multiple purposes. One, they serve as a sort of a mini distribution center for their Amazon Fresh line. They do deliveries from Whole Foods to your home. You can also,
which I miss.
you can also pick
I
up,
actually do like. I did actually did like be able to use that from Amazon.
yep. You can also pick up your Amazon packages at Whole Foods if you choose. So a number of different things. You also get discounts if you're a Prime member.
Yeah.
Whole Foods. But another thing that they toyed with was a lot of people thought they were going to go that way when they started purchasing Toys R Us locations. When Toys R Us went under, they bought a bunch of old Toys R Us locations. But what they did with those locations was use those as distribution hubs.
Yep, mini hubs.
Yep.
Mini hubs. So basically, what they're talking about here, and this is actually going to launch from what they're expecting, is going to launch in Ohio and California. They don't really tell us which one's going to come first. Your typical brick and mortar department store, your JCPenney, Sears and Roebuck, these people of that, Macy's. Actually, Macy's not a thing anymore. No, Macy's is a thing. Macy's. Lazarus is gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, those guys are 100,000 square feet. They're predicting that these are going to be more around 30,000 square foot. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to play and what kind of. I mean, because to be honest, your what you said is how they have taken all their stuff and turned them all into mini distribution hubs.
Yep.
This is just another distribution hub with a sales floor.
With the sales, and that's it. So it makes you wonder what kind of products they're going to have. Are they going to have the Amazon product? Because Amazon does have their own line of almost everything now. Are they going to carry, real brand names that aren't Amazon?
Well, I bet they are. And I bet those brand names will pay to have them in the brick and mortar stores.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's another spot of revenue.
Yeah. On top of that, Amazon has more shopping data than probably any organization in the world. So if
they know what's going to be bought.
Who knows what's going to sell the best, it's got to be Amazon. So, I mean, this is a no-brainer for them.
Yeah, I think it's a great step for them. Again, if they follow through on the customer service end, if they take the current box store that everybody loves to make fun of, who actually started as a great customer service from Sam Walton himself.
Yeah.
And if they go that route with it, it's basically going to be the nail in the coffin to department stores. They're going to end
Yeah.
up being the "Are you being served?" group. By that I mean it's going to be of almost, I don't want to say elite, but it's going to be not as publicly available to everybody. It's going to be the higher end spot. It's going to be where you go and you're paying for this higher product. You're paying even to walk through the doors, kind of thing. But we'll see. I could be
To a
completely
degree,
wrong. Probably not, but it could be.
I think you're right to a degree, but Amazon's also really well known for being having prices lower than retail locations. So, I mean, that might also be a nail in the coffin of other brick and mortar stores because not only will they have, Amazon does actually have pretty great customer service. So not only will they have great customer
I've
service,
never had a problem with their
they'll
customer
have
service. But
exactly
there's a
the
difference
products.
between digital remote customer service and face-to-face interaction.
True, true. But so in general, they're likely to have pretty good customer service. They're almost certain to have the best products available because they have all the data that they know what people want, right? On top of that, they're probably going to have a lot lower prices than other brick and mortar locations as well, especially smaller, even mom and pop shops.
Mhm.
So I think it's a great idea. I will definitely shop there, but
Oh,
it's going to definitely change the landscape. It's going to change the
yeah,
landscape a lot.
we'll definitely have to call it as we see it on that one. That was going to be a, let's see how that one plays out. Um, to be honest, if I were somebody in the Macy's department store line, I would go, now's the time to double down on actual customer service, getting people in, taking your taking your places, and even if you have to close down a lot of locations,
Right.
now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it. Don't do it after they've launched. Do it now. Get your core together and make you the department store model so that by the time that this launches, everybody, this is how it's supposed to be. Anything other than that is lower end.
Right. And you would think that's common sense, but
Yep.
say I have to say has never customer service at brick and mortar locations has never been worse than it is right now. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
look, I'm not getting political, no politics involved, but the current job market, the fact that there are so many people or so many jobs available and so few people to fill them,
Yep.
that there are literally companies that will say that give go head over heels. They give their left arm to get anybody just to stand on the floor. It doesn't matter who it is. They need boots on the ground.
Yep.
That
Yep.
in a lot of places they don't need good customer service. They just need somebody to stand on the floor and be an employee. And you definitely see it in the level of service you get lately.
We
That's not
call
a
that in the
statement.
construction
That's
industry, we call that warm bodies. So, you're getting yelled at by a general contractor or electrical contractor, somebody saying, hey, you guys have got to be here. We know there's really nothing that can be done.
right.
We don't need to send a highly trained person out there. I don't want to waste a guy who costs me, and I understand pay rates are different, but a guy who costs me $80 to $100 an hour out on a job site when I can get away with a guy who costs me $20 an hour because they're going to be doing the same thing, which is nothing.
Oh,
So
right. And
it's hard, but now with the curve is inverted on rates right now,
it is.
and it's going to correct itself. And if you live by the motto of make hay while the sun shines, great. As long as you understand that.
And
As long
that
as you understand what that means is when that turns, guess who's the first one cut?
it's true. We have a few really weird bubbles happening right now that people
Yep.
who look, I'm a relatively young guy too, but people who are alive today haven't been through these similar bubbles in the past, and they don't understand that when there's a correction, you can be
Yeah.
caught off guard real quick, like real quick. I was reading an article just the other day on LinkedIn about how millennials are fully embracing the work from home situation, while Gen X and boomers who are still in the workforce are taking full advantage of the in-office opportunities and making the connections, getting FaceTime with the people who sign their checks. And
Yep.
when there is a correction, guess who's going to have the upper hand? I mean,
You know,
I like work from home, but guess what? If you get the FaceTime, that's worth way more than just hours on the books.
yes. So my boy, who's 16 years old now, out looking for jobs, he keeps like, well, it's all online. It's all online. I'm like, no, you go, you get in their face, and you keep going. If you find a place that you actually want to work, you keep going back there because guess what? Even though the thing is online, if your name's there, if you keep yourself in front of them,
Yeah,
you have the advantage over Jane, who's down the street applying for the same job.
right. If,
You've got to keep putting yourself up there forward and keep marketing and promoting yourself no matter what.
well,
So
you gotta relate it back to him in a way that he understands too, right?
yeah,
So the way he probably would understand it the best is relate it back to social media. When you want to get somebody's attention on social media, what do? You comment on all their stuff. You like all their stuff. You make sure that they see your profile every time they turn around. Same thing in an office
yeah,
situation. You let your boss know that you're there and you're paying attention and you want to be there. And guess what? When the time comes for promotion or a special
that's
project
right.
that you want to be in on, guess who they're
That's
going to?
right.
That's
That's right.
exactly it.
Keep your name right there at the front of their thoughts.
You're right. 100%. So that's really interesting about Amazon.
So that's I mean it's a it's an interesting time.
It's sure.
We are watching a full circle form. It's going to be it's going to be interesting. Let's use interesting.
Interesting. That's it. Good word for it.
Because whether it's successful or whether it fails dismally, I believe that we are going to have a lot of stuff learned
Yeah.
from this coming up. So
There.
that was my news story for the week, the business news story for the week.
Yeah.
You've got something about sex robots from Elon Musk.
And this is a family show, so yes, I do have sex robots. Anyway, this is so. Speaking of learning, we're going to go right into machine learning. Haha. How you like that for a
Machine
segue?
learning.
Hey, like
Okay.
that segue. So Elon Musk recently just unveiled his the Tesla bot, which if there weren't already a failed company named this, that he should have called it Nikola. But I'm gonna play the presentation where he unveils this thing, and you haven't
Okay.
seen this video yet, so I want your
Yeah,
live reaction.
just for all those out there in Rio Linda, he made me promise not to watch this video
I
so
would
that he could watch my response live on here.
because I know your feelings on AI, so I really want your
Yeah.
live reactions here.
All right.
All right, so here we go. We're
For
gonna
those of you in Huntington, West Virginia, we're gonna say words now. Are you ready? You ready? Roll them.
roll them. Here we go.
We'll switch this screen over here so I can see larger.
Look at
Yeah, I wouldn't creep the crap out of anybody if they walk in the middle of the night.
Right.
Hello, Dave. That's from space. All right, so is this a robot or is this Elon Musk dressed up? What's up here?
I thought the exact same thing. I was like,
Yeah, so we've got Dance Robot here that I don't believe is fooling anybody that's an actual
All right.
robot.
Thank you.
So
Now, unlike
there's
Dojo,
okay, now
obviously, that was
now
not
the
real.
robot's on stage.
exactly.
So Dojo is real. The Tesla bot.
He has
will
like
be
no
real.
sense of humor.
But basically, if you think about
Crazy
what we're
stuff.
doing right now with the cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are like semi-sentient robots on wheels.
Now remember, he just said that. Isn't that awesome? And it's totally
Semi-sentient robots on wheels.
think about the car. Think about Tesla cars this way. They're essentially robots on wheels, right?
I mean, well, yeah. I
So
mean, my Cadillac is like, I mean, my Cadillac will keep itself in the lines and
see,
do stuff too. I mean,
and with the full self-driving computer, essentially the inference engine on the car, which will keep evolving, obviously, and Dojo, and all the neural nets recognizing the world, understanding how to navigate through the world. It kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. And we're also quite good at sensors and batteries and actuators. So we think we'll probably...
by the way, he's a true showman. As you can tell, he knows how to captivate a crowd.
Actuators.
Listening to him is
Excuse me,
like,
sir. Could you say that again? Actuators.
it's like listening to me talk about algorithms. That's what's happening here.
We have
Oops, there we go.
Actuators.
prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this. And it's intended to be friendly, of course. And
Follow me if you want to leave.
Riggs, who's not thinking of the Terminator the entire time this is on?
navigate through a world built for humans and eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks. We're setting it such that it is at a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it. And most likely overpower it.
Wait. You gotta pause that. We made it friendly, but we also made it slow so you can run away from it.
Or overpower it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? The worst part is, people in the crowd, you can tell by the way they're laughing, they're not sure if he's serious or not. Like,
If he says the word Maslov, I'm gone.
So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but
hopefully that doesn't ever need to happen.
you never know. So it'll be a light, yeah, anyway, 5 miles an hour. If you can run faster than that, you'll be fine. So yeah, it's around 5'8". Has sort of a screen where the head is for useful information, but has otherwise basically got the...
Hey,
I gotta turn off my phone because it's buzzing like crazy over here.
Little respect for Mr. Musk here.
Yeah, what the heck's going on here? I don't know what's going on.
The autopilot system in it, so it's
decided to buzz like crazy.
It's got 8 cameras and
there's 40 electromechanical.
I want to bring something up here. It's gonna weigh, what did he say?
125 pounds.
100.
It's 5'8", 125 pounds.
Was it 125 pounds? Here we go.
Yeah, it's gotta be carbon fiber.
I would say 125 pounds. How are they possibly going to fit all the machinery in there, plus batteries?
The batteries where the weight is. I mean,
I was going to say, a battery for a Tesla is like 400 pounds.
Yeah, its carry capacity here says only 45 pounds. It's got a deadlift of 150. So I mean, it's not necessarily as strong. I mean, I could probably take it out. You know, when the war arises, these things will go down quick.
Wow, look, it's clearly made of carbon fiber, so I don't think you could hit that thing hard enough to knock it out.
Well, I'd say probably carbon nanotubes, but it's not the things, because you're gonna be able to break those decently with a good swing of a ball bat. But more importantly, you're gonna be able to damage the gearing in the mechanisms that keep them moving. So, and that's where the weaknesses are going to be, and that's what you're going to want to target out there, ladies and gentlemen. You're walking 6 miles away from it.
He's showing us right now where the hinges are. Yeah, you'd have to walk slightly faster than 6.
You target here, and here, and then you get to the chopper.
Hey, I do like the idea of the face being an interactive screen, though. Like, that's pretty cool.
Autopilot system, yeah. So it's got 8 cameras, and
8 cameras.
Yeah,
I wonder if there are cameras on the tips of its toes, like if it'll ever stub its toe on a
full self-driving
on a
computer,
coffee table.
and making use of all of the same tools that we use in the car. So, I mean, things that I think that are really hard about having a useful humanoid robot is, can it navigate through the world without being explicitly trained? I mean, without explicit, like, line-by-line instructions.
Machine learning,
You
you
can
don't believe
talk
it.
to it and say, you know, please pick up that bolt and attach it to the car with that wrench, and it should be able to do that. It should be able to, please go to the store and get me the following groceries, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think we can do that.
What does Will Smith have to say about this?
Yeah,
Right.
this I think will be quite profound.
Somebody
because
reincarnate
you say it, like,
Isaac
what is the
Asimov.
economy? It is at the foundation. It is labor. So, what happens when there is, no shortage of labor? This is why I think long term that there will need to be universal basic income.
Mr. Musk, we don't talk about politics here. Mr. Musk, keep away from
Are you
politics.
talking about universal basic income for the robots?
No, he's saying his
Gee, so that kind of has simple oil.
no. His comment was, "What are people going to do if there are no more manual labor, mundane tasks?"
Yeah, you get rid of the job, so you have to have something there. I fill in the gap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Not
Star
right now,
Trek.
'cause this robot doesn't work. Yes.
Look, I mean, if we get to fly around in outer space with cool robots, I mean, that's kind of every guy's dream, right?
I'm not commenting.
So
Let's move on.
we didn't need a
And
minute.
here we go.
So, yeah, but I think it's essentially in the future, physical work will be a choice. If you want to do it, you can, but you won't need to do it. And yeah, I think it obviously has profound implications for the economy because
That's true.
that the economy at its
Big.
foundational level.
Do you see how
is
fat
labor.
those people on Wall-E
Capital
got?
is- capital equipment is just labor.
But they were happy.
Then
Until they had to get up.
So, yeah,
So, yeah.
join our team and
Yeah.
help this.
So yeah, he's
All right,
so I think
Elon,
we'll
you need to
have
call
Elon come
me and
back
let
up.
me start doing your press conferences, dude.
so yeah, he's a natural
Yeah. Actuators.
actuators. We're pretty good at batteries and actuators.
Dude, when he was
So yeah,
going through the list, he's like, and batteries and wire and actuators.
On the stage, and you guys can ask questions if you'd like. Yeah.
all right, that's it.
Does somebody ask about the 3 laws? Please tell me somebody asked about the 3 laws.
I don't have the questions here. So just so you guys are aware, that video is from CNET's YouTube page. So check out CNET. They have a lot of great tech news. I really like watching their stuff. So definitely check that out.
And we'll put these back on the other screen here just so it's out of my way.
Yep.
That was
So what do you think about that?
that is I mean, it'd be hilarious had he just taken the mask off the guy that was up there dancing.
Oh, I was wishing so bad at the beginning because you could tell at the beginning it was a person. I was wishing so bad that it was actually him under that mask.
Yeah.
Like that would have been cool. But do you think
It'd be interesting to watch.
like that? What's that?
It'll be interesting to see that one come around too. But
So
I'm not so sure. The whole idea behind, auto learning AI, which you and I have conversed about this multiple times,
we have.
is everything's an if statement. It's an if-or statement. It's an infinite if-or statement just to navigate out the front door. The thing is, the robot, no matter how intelligent it can be, cannot make the decision without some if-or statement telling it to get up and go to the door. Even if it can do it once it's out there with all of its sensors and all the things and learn the path and twist the doorknob, oh crap, it's locking, you unlock it and do it. It can do all of that, but it can't make the decision to do it.
Well, not necessarily, right? Because how is that any different from a person? It's implicit learned behaviors, which right now Tesla cars can actually do to a certain degree. So because what happens is all of the Tesla cars out there are connected to a database. And every day, the data that these cars get from driving in the road and through different scenarios, and when there's other cars around them, it records the data of everything happening around them and everything that it does, everything its driver chooses to do, and the reaction thereof. All of that is uploaded. And the appropriate response, because of that additional data, is then sent out and updated to every other car. So every other car is actually getting slightly smarter, making slightly better decisions every single day. And a similar thing happens here. And it's no different with people, right? The reason we can do certain things like opening a door or if it's locked or whatever and not think about our reaction is because it's learned behavior over time to the point that we don't recognize when we're going through these if then statements in our heads. You know, if I sit down, I expect this chair to hold me. But if it does not, then
I'm a big guy. That's not always taken for granted.
What's that?
I'm a big guy. Sometimes I look at a chair and go, I ain't sitting there.
So the thing is the speed at which these AIs are able to make the if-then jump, how is that much different than casual thought that we make? Now they may not be able to use imagination to come up with certain solutions. However, if they have we'll call it learned behavior, if they can have the learned behavior of to solve simple problems, to advance to a slightly more difficult problem, how is that much different in the end? Right?
It would be easy enough to train I don't know, let's take a dog, for instance, and, ringing of a doorbell.
Yes.
Or a kid ringing of a doorbell. Or a robot and a ringing of a doorbell to get up to go investigate the door.
Yeah.
The dog and the human both are able to go, it's a pretty day outside, I'm going to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the robot will never have the ability, unless it's programmed, to say when the weather is between this temperature and this temperature with humidity between this and this, and then if statements on the algebraic chart, and then go, all right, this equals this output. Once you work that parenthesis down and you come out with a final number, a 1 or a 0 on that equation, activate, and it goes. So the idea that it can all be programmed is there's just too much for even a simple thing. And that's the thing that you and I keep going back to every time.
Go back and forth.
It'll be interesting to watch.
I don't necessarily.
I'll definitely be I won't be buying one the day they come out. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, so
I got my new Apple Card. We could probably work something out.
Well, that brings up the next question. Do you think this is a real move, that they actually want to have these robots, or is this just another boring machine blowtorch? Remember when Elon Musk's boring company had the blowtorches to promote the boring company, and is this a publicity stunt?
Maybe not. I think it's more of a publicity stunt because it is much better suited. Humans, we use robots and tools and equipment because those tools and equipment and robots that we built that are specifically built for that said purpose are better to fulfill that than the natural human state. So why build a humanoid robot to do things that humans use robots and other equipment to do? No, you purposely build what you're going to do. So this is not a replacement for manual labor. This is not. But
so you can read all the show notes. So I actually wrote about this in the show notes. So here's the interesting thing, right? So he made it
trying to find where we are in the show notes, by the way, guys.
He made an interesting point where he said that his cars are basically robots in the form of cars, which essentially they are, right? And to what you said, we've had robots in factories for decades. And the reason those robots don't look like people is because they're built to serve a very specific task. And in a human form, a humanoid robot just won't be as efficient as an arm on wheels, right? To do these tasks. Or a car.
Yes.
Or
when you're activating something, when you're activating this piece of equipment that has 4 limbs, a head,
right.
all this stuff to move to do this one thing, as opposed, and let's say this, you're faster than a human being.
Yeah.
Great at doing this. A purpose-built machine
Right.
could, let's say you're processing 2 times the speed of a human with this robot. That's great. But a purpose-built machine is going to do it 10 times, 15 times faster, more effective, and with less fault.
Well, here's a simple example, right? What's more efficient? A human form robot pushing a vacuum cleaner, or the vacuum cleaner is a robot? We have Roombas right now. That's a thing. What's more efficient?
Down in Jacksonville, Florida, there's a place down there. They do lithium ion formation, the battery cells. Basically, that building, I don't know if they make them specifically for Tesla, but they make that style batteries. And basically, these are just almost look like little AA batteries in individual cells that package them all up. And they've got these robots down there. One is named Wally, and one of them is named Eve, that travel through this plant.
Yeah.
And they know if you're in front of them, they'll wait for you. As soon as you move out of the way, they'll beep beep and then go right on by you and they just zip back and forth through this plant nonstop, doing their job. And they're not a robot pushing a cart. It's a cart that is the robot.
Oh, well, yeah. You see these same things in the videos of the Amazon warehouses all the time. Where
absolutely,
there are these little robots on wheels with the stacks of stuff on top of them. But here's a counterpoint, right? Here's a counterpoint that might be to Elon Musk's end goal. So, we have very specific robots, all built for very specific purposes right now. But what if you want a multi-tool? What if you want a robot that can come home and cook you dinner and go out and actually go to a grocery store, not only pick up groceries that were pre-ordered, but also just walk through the store and pick up a couple odds and ends you tell it to pick up? Or what if that robot implicitly knows that you didn't have delicious beer on your shopping list, but you're out of beer at home because it looked in your fridge before it left and it said, you know what? I'm going to get David some beer. So not only does it pick up your groceries, it walks.
All right, I might buy one now.
Back. I'm just, it can wash your dog, change your tire, do your laundry, do your shopping. It's a multi-tool. And what better type of multi-tool than something with articulated limbs that can move and act and react as a person could? So I don't think it's that far out of the realm of necessity. I think
I'm going to go with it is absolutely that far outside of the realm of necessity. I'm going to say it's out of the realm of possibility, maybe. Necessities, that's a long stretch to get from where we are today to, hey, we don't need manual labor and all this. This is going to trim your dog's fur and make you dinner and go get you a beer.
Now, look, you and I do actually disagree on AI. But I do agree with you on the fact that AI, as it stands right now, isn't there yet. I don't think the AI is there yet. I don't think machine learning is there yet, and I'll tell you why. I have Alexa in my home, and it does not understand contextual conversation one bit. AI right now, if you ask any AI in the world, maybe unless you're like talking to a quantum computer, you're talking to any other AI in the world and you ask it a question, guess what? It's searching a database. It's searching the internet. And when it can't find something, unless it has a pre-programmed response, it's not going to give you a good answer. But I'll tell you this.
All it's going to do is look at the percentage of hits through the algorithm that it's searching with. That's it.
But I'll tell you this. The first company, and I've always said this, the first company that comes up with an AI or home digital device, whatever, that can understand contextual conversation, it's all over. It changes the world.
I don't know what my wife and daughter are in there doing, but they're making just a world of racket. Are you able to hear them?
A little bit. They're having fun.
You're
having a party at your house.
I don't know. I don't know what they're
you guys
having a hoot.
You guys have been quarantined too long.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I've been up in the bedroom most of the time. That was my first time down here, and the wife made me put a mask on to come downstairs. So, and I just came into my office.
Better safe than sorry.
So I'll be putting it back on as soon as the show's over and heading back upstairs.
Right. But anyway,
You understand?
contextual conversation is going to change it all. And it's
Yeah.
more complex with a robot that you expect to navigate its way through the real world, because not only does it need to understand contextual conversation or contextual verbalization, it needs to understand situational awareness. When it walks down the street and it bumps into somebody or somebody bumps into it, it needs to know how to properly react.
Exactly. If it's in the Midwest, it's got to go. Oop.
Right, when it's walking down the street and it accidentally steps on some kid's toes, and the mom turns around and hits it with a purse, and it needs to know what to do. It can't call tech support. It needs to understand the situation and how to react properly within that situation. So
And what you
not
do
only
is you take out both
contextual
entities,
understanding-
and there's no more threat.
so not only contextual understanding, but situational awareness, which is a whole different level. However,
Yes.
we will talk one of these days about quantum computing, and that will change it. Once there's cloud quantum computing, which Google's working on now, Amazon's working on it, man, that is going to change the world. I think at that point we will hit the AI singularity.
Huh?
So for those of you who,
Alrighty then.
because we're giant nerds, the AI singularity is the point at which you can't discern an AI from a real person.
Alrighty.
And you and I disagree.
That's the news, right?
So
Yes,
you can tell when he's
we
like,
disagree with
alrighty, okay.
Yeah, because there's already times when the computers call. I mean, everybody knows the moment a computer calls you, you're like, all right, like
Right.
clearly a computer.
But those are like recorded
There's no-
and they're bad, and you can tell the difference there. And that's obvious.
They're all bad.
They're all bad. You're right.
They're all bad. All right. So what's our main business topic tonight? I think
Well-
we're back to NFTs tonight, right?
So we're going to talk about a topic. Get back to a topic that seems to be getting bigger and bigger, almost as if there is some sort of an inflatable device that is getting bigger and bigger and might at some point
Like a bubble.
cease to be able to hold all of the gas that has been pumped into it, almost like a bubble.
It's like a
Um,
bubble. And what happens? It probably pops, doesn't it?
well, they tend to do that sometimes.
Yes. I
It's-
don't want to call it a bubble.
So I don't want to call it a bubble, but I'm going to read something here. It's almost as if it's an asset, the price of which appears to exceed its intrinsic value. The purchase of such asset is often based on on impulse, amidst implausible and highly speculative future value. So we're talking
like buying
about
gold.
NFTs. NFT.
Nifties.
Nifties. So
these are the non-fungicidal
Non-
topical lotions.
non-fungicidal lotions. Yes. So I'm gonna show you guys something here. This rock,
Is this one of the NFTs?
well, this rock cost more
Yes.
than most people's cars. This rock sold for about $55,000. This picture of a rock. So
Looks like you
yeah.
bought it.
looks
I mean, why else would you have it, right?
well. I do have it. I saved that rock, so it is mine. Is it mine? So the funny thing is, I completely lost my train of thought.
This rock.
This is, oh my gosh.
So yeah, we got the basically it's the digital asset of it.
Yeah.
And
well,
we've talked about it. We've talked about it in depth in
yeah.
the past about the non-fungible tokens. It's a non-tangible asset, and at what point is it that it becomes basically an investment versus
right.
in most of the ways that I see it is a scam.
Well, in a lot of ways.
NFT
So
scams are running crazy.
So let's break down quickly what an NFT is. I think that'll help get my brain back on track here. An
All
NFT.
right, get it.
What's that?
I said get it back on track.
So an NFT is basically any digital asset. It can be an image, it can be a song, it can be a Word document. I think the most interesting thing is it can be a contract, which I have some big thoughts on that. But these digital assets are intrinsically tied to a bit of code within the Ethereum blockchain. In most cases, it's Ethereum. There are other blockchains that support this type of functionality. But it's a little piece of code within the blockchain that is associated with this piece of digital art, right? It's essentially acting as a digital certificate of authenticity, is essentially what's happening. So, when you see things like this rock, and I'm working on one screen here. So
you
got my show notes.
You're down to one screen. Yeah. So well, on a side note, because I love going on tangents here, you have the last year's or the other version. You got the Intel based Apple, right? You got the Intel based
I do.
MacBook, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, you can actually hook up multiple monitors to yours. The new M1 processor, which is what I'm running on this one, you only get one. So, all right. So now that we've covered some time to talk about your Dutch tulip fields.
Well, so that was kind of the next thing we were going to talk about. But so, a lot of people are asking themselves, so what's the problem? It's essentially a certificate of authenticity, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all want to know that our assets are being protected. And, a lot of people are talking a lot of really big game about these NFTs. I mean, everybody can't be wrong about these being a great investment, right? However, to get the real answer, we need to go all the way back to 17th century Holland. So let's get real nerdy here real quick. So, since we're on technology, we're going to talk about 17th century Holland. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
After this, I'm going to tell you about some algorithms.
And for that, we'll need to go to the 14th century monasteries.
Oh boy! So basically, at the time, 17th century Holland, there was this giant speculative bubble about tulip bulbs, and these things were going for insane prices. I mean, modern day equivalents of hundreds of thousands of dollars for tulip bulbs. And the point is people were speculatively buying these things because they saw other people doing it. There was the FOMO, the fear of missing out phenomenon taking place, and nobody wanted to be the last one in on this really big thing that everybody's super stoked about. And they see a single tulip bulb selling for, the modern day equivalent of, $1 million. They're like, wow, I got to buy as many as I can. And then guess what? Eventually, the bubble burst. The bottom fell out, and people realized, wait a second, these are tulip bulbs.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Almost
this
overnight.
Is a picture of a rock.
Right. Exactly. Almost overnight, nobody wanted these things, and so many people lost so much money. It was insane. So you literally see the exact same thing happening with NFTs right now. Let me just get back here. I'm going to show you.
But it was a really good picture of a rock.
It was a great picture of a rock. So right now, here's the funny thing. This is a real thing. This is a collection of NFTs called the Dutch Tulip Field. What does this tell you? This tells you that people are aware of this similarity. People in charge of these, making these things, are aware of the similarity. They own it, but they don't care. They are going to sell the heck out of these things. Guess what? They're all exactly the same except for the colors. Do you know what these things are selling for? These things are selling for trading volume, 700. Average price $10,000. Look at these things. It's look at this: 57.9 thousand, 56.3 thousand.
This is straight up
Look at
money laundering, folks.
this is look
straight up money laundering.
money
folks.
laundering. You wouldn't say that there's money laundering.
This is straight
I
up money laundering.
David,
Even
I I wash my hands of that statement. That is just there's no.
I
This
wash
is
my hands in
completely.
that statement.
This is completely on the up and up. And guess what? You want to talk about money laundering? We got some things that we need to be very careful about. What we're going to talk about in a few minutes here, because there are some shady dealings going on in the NFT world.
There's
But
some
look at
shady
these
dealings.
prices. Look at these prices over here: 57,000, 56, 50,000. What's the? Can you tell me the actual difference between this NFT and this NFT, or this one and this one? And here's the scary thing: people who are not money laundering and buy these things are only buying these with the anticipation that they can sell them for more money later on.
Yeah.
This is speculative buying by definition. So it's all tied back to the Ethereum network. Look at this. Here's an article on Decrypt about the Ethereum pet rock NFTs are selling for more than $100,000. This is the rock that I showed you here. So the rock that I showed you is slightly different. This one only sold for about $55,000, but the collection are on average are selling for over $100,000. Now I want to show you these Ether rocks here. They're almost identical. The only difference is they're slightly different colors. Isn't that interesting? But check out the Twitter page of recently sold Ether rock. Look at this. So Ethereum right now is over $3,000.
I gotta tell you, I'm a huge fan of follow the money.
Yeah.
In everything. I would love to be able to crack and see where this is all going, because I guarantee you, it would open everybody's eyes to see where this money come from and where it's going.
So David, you're really good at math in your head. I want to do some math for me real quick.
7.
So the average, the price right now of Ethereum is about 3,100, about 3,100. This rock right here, rock ID number 89, is 2,000 Ethereum. What's 2,000 times 3,000?
Well, that's 2 times 3 is 6. That's a 0. You carry the 7 and you multiply it by the square root of 17. It's like 60 grand, man. That's a lot.
So yeah, these, and tell me there's a difference between these rocks. I know I'm an old dude, I don't get it, but I want to show you something really interesting. Let's say you bought one of these rocks. Let's say you bought this rock at a rock bottom deal of $30,000, right? Let's say you got this for $30,000. Well, guess what? Look what happens over here. Oh no, somebody took that same JPEG, they reversed it, and now it's backwards, and the same thing is selling for $32,000.
Yeah.
So and that's
this is all to launder money.
Look at this. See this rock here?
There is no value. There's no way that this is doing anything except laundering and hiding money. That's all it is.
Well, there are big celebrities.
All that it's doing.
There are big celebrities who
laundering money.
David,
they are accessory to laundering money.
David,
that's all this is. Oh my Lord.
There are big celebrities who disagree with you, David. And I'll tell you.
I'm sure.
NBA, you know about NBA? What's the NBA NFT project?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, with it, we've talked about that one in the past too.
Hang on. And what was it? Top Shot? Was it Top Shot?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all money laundering. It's all money laundering.
NBA Top Shot. So NBA even sells their own NFTs. But here's the funny thing. Here's something a lot of people don't understand. When you buy an NFT, let's say you buy this rock for $100,000. Let's say you bought this rock for $100,000, right? You don't actually own the artwork. Yeah, that's right. When you buy an NBA Top Shot, and you get a top shot of who's a basketball player, Larry Bird. I don't know a basketball player that kids like these days. Let's say you buy an NBA
I'm
top
guessing
shot
Larry Bird.
of Michael Jordan or Larry Bird doing some kind of a fancy basketball thing.
Michael Jordan was a baseball player.
All right, same thing. So doing some kind of a fancy baseball thing, and you and a TV network or somebody online plays that video clip without your consent. You just spent all this money on that NFT, on that video. You don't own
Yep.
it. You don't own the video. You don't own the distribution rights. You don't have any right to that video itself. You own the NFT of that video. You only own
Yeah.
the certificate of authenticity associated with the blockchain that says you paid a crap ton of money to have that NFT of that video. You don't own that artwork.
Yeah.
So if the creator of Brown Rock wanted to put this in a gallery and they wanted to make 1 million prints and sell every one of those 1 million prints for $10 each, they keep all that money.
Devalue the crap out of your NFT. They can do it.
Don't keep any of it because but I want to show you this. So there are
what is it called when you need the cash? You get them here, you put it in there, and it comes out clean. Oh, money laundering.
Wait, hang on. So you're actually suggesting, hang on, you're actually suggesting that somebody made ill-gotten gains, had ill-gotten money, that they want to make it look like they got that money legitimate.
Legit.
So what they do,
Yes.
maybe they might, this is speculative, they might
Speculative.
create an image of a rock and
A
sell
rock,
it to an anonymous buyer for $1
sell it to
million.
an anonymous buyer themselves, and then they sell it and they cash it out, and now they've got a track record of this transaction. They can pay a minor amount of taxes, and all this ill-gotten gained good cash is now clean. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
David,
It's money laundering.
you're crazy. You're crazy. You're out of your mind.
Why would he do that?
That
Why
never
would he do
happens. That never happens.
Oh.
I'll tell you why that never happens.
Let's start a laundromat. Laundromat and NFTs. Literally, I'm gonna sell an NFT of a laundromat.
Of pictures of laundromats. That's awesome. But no, there are other celebrities that highly disagree with you. Oh, hang on, we have a guest here in the live studio from the live studio audience. Let me get back to.
Dada, look at my pixel.
Oh, speaking of NFTs, check out this beautiful artwork. Here, hold it up
Hey,
so we can see.
Daddy.
Look at that artwork. Did you draw this, Catherine?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
I know.
with my mom.
Wow. Hey, buddy.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got both of them. There we go. Okay. Oh. So this could be an NFT right here. And if anyone wants to pay me $1 million, I will sell this image. I'll actually send you the real artwork.
This side.
Hey, you're on that side and he's on that side.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we gotta hold it back up because we can't see anymore.
Oh, this is okay. There you go. See, so this is my daughter drew this. How old are you, Catherine?
4,
4, and she drew this. How old are you, Lucky?
6.
6, and 4. And hey, you guys got to go. We're talking here, okay? Here you
Oh
go.
boy. Oh, they're in a target. They drew a target.
She drew a picture of a target.
Yeah, and I'm sending this to the target now.
Oh, she's going to send that to Target now. Okay.
Okay.
So David,
All right.
you don't honestly believe that somebody would use something as pure and honest as NFTs for laundering money, do you?
Absolutely.
Never.
Absolutely.
There are others really big names who would disagree with you. I'll tell you one right here, Mr. Logan Paul. If there's anybody more upstanding than Logan Paul, I don't know who it is. This guy.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Logan Paul is.
You don't know Logan Paul. He is.
I remember a movie a long time ago called Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, and in that he flat out said never trust a guy with 2 first names.
It's true. Logan Paul. I could say a lot of things about him that he'd probably sue me for libel. So just Google Logan Paul, and you might throw up a little bit in your mouth. But Logan Paul just bought. He tweeted he bought this NFT here. Just dropped 188 ETH, which is about a little over $600,000 on this one of a kind digital artwork. $600,000 for this one of a kind digital artwork from this very upstanding man, Logan Paul. But look, I want to show you something really interesting here. Can I show you something here? I'm gonna open this image in its own window. Oh, this is Logan Paul, and I'm gonna expand that, and I am gonna save this image to my desktop. I'm gonna save image as.
Okay.
If it'll ever go, okay. I'm gonna save this image, and guess what? That image that he just paid $600,000 for, I now have it on my computer. Did I steal it? No, because that's the nature of digital art. Look, historically, when people bought art for millions of dollars, they were paying for it's the
exclusivity.
The exclusivity of having that piece of artwork. You know, when you see a piece of a when you see a painting in real life, you know, you have the association with that artist. You see the brush strokes. You see the work that went into it. Now, digital art, a lot of work into it.
Yeah, I was in DC. A couple of years ago, actually about this time of year, and I went to one of the Smithsonian Art Museum there because the only known Leonardo da Vinci painting was there in the U.S. The only known one in the U.S. Was over there, and you know, it's a big deal to go see that because it's the only one. I can't right click. You know, I can show you the picture that I took of it, but it's not painted on the same wood. You can't see all the stuff. It was an amazing event. I loved it. I loved getting in and actually be able to get to see it. But so basically what you're saying is this Logan Paul character is not very smart. Well, I mean, he's got $600,000 to spend on a right clickable thing. So I mean, he's done something good at least. I mean, I don't know what is he an internet guy?
Well, so he actually. Do you remember the social app Vine?
No.
So Vine was basically the original TikTok, where you could make short, 15 to 30-second videos, and he got Vine famous, right? And when Vine went under, he moved that over to YouTube. He became YouTube famous, and essentially, I don't like to speak ill of people, so I'll be really delicate here. He's a giant douchebag. So he basically made all of his money from being one of the biggest douchebags on the planet. And I'm pretty sure he's not watching this, so I don't think he's going to try and sue me. But if you look up douchebag in the dictionary, Merriam-Webster actually defines it as Logan Paul.
Oh, okay.
So
the more you know.
The more you know. And he's such an upstanding guy. Beautiful human being. He's such an upstanding guy. He actually tried not too long ago to launch, I think it's actually he's still trying to launch it, his own cryptocurrency. Guess what the cryptocurrency is called? Dink Doink. Are you still seeing my screen here?
Dink. I can see your screen down here. Dink Doink.
Dink Doink.
Really?
Yeah. So Logan Paul tried to. So with cryptocurrency, there is a actually with all stocks. This is an old thing. Everybody else can't see it. I'm sorry. I'm not even sharing my screen here. So here we go. Dink.
I can see it, but they can't.
There we go. Everybody else can now. So Dink Doink. So there's the old phrase pump and dump, where stock traders would pump up a stock. They'd buy a crap ton of it, pump up its value artificially, and then just as soon as everybody's buying it, it's super hot, they dump immediately at a tie point.
Do you have
everybody else is
GameStop
stuck holding the bill.
Somewhere?
What's that?
Do you have GameStop pulled up somewhere?
GameStop. But I'm bummed. It took me a second.
Took you a second there.
There you go. So pump and dump. So essentially, in the crypto world, I'm not saying Logan Paul did this with Dink Doink. It's actually a very good coin. It's actually a really good coin that everybody should do the research on. And It's don't buy Dink Doink. It's a total
Let's-
scam, and it's not on Coinbase, so you won't find it there. But he tried to launch this thing, and it's funny the way that he did it. He actually produced some videos with them, and it was all like super towards his ultra douchey audience, where it's like he's talking this thing up, and he's saying, "Oh, by the way, it's a terrible coin. Nobody should ever buy this thing. But by the way, I'm buying as much as I can, and I'm hanging on to it for as long as possible." Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to cover his bases. So when the FTC comes and looks at this coin, he can legally come back and say, "Look, I told people not to buy the thing. What can I do if they all bought it? They're a bunch of idiots." So he's a highly, highly upstanding citizen that does nothing but good for the community. Logan Paul would never do anything as shady as spending $600,000 on a piece of digital artwork to launder any kind of money.
I happen to notice that the
suggest
bulk of
he
the
would do
people
something.
that are buying and doing these things are the Facebook famous group, the people who got their gains from the social media or the digital world. I don't see Warren Buffett on here. I don't see a Warren Buffett thing about buying NFTs and how he's highly invested in and just spent $623,000 on buying this NFT that somebody else could just right click and get. I don't
The
see.
old guy.
I don't see that.
He's old. He's old. Do you think Warren Buffett knows how the world works? Come on.
Warren Buffett has given away more money than this Logan Paul will ever have. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a little bit here, and then I hate the guy with not, I mean, I don't hate's a strong word, but I hate the guy, the guy who owns the Mavericks. He's a business guy too.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, Cuban.
Yeah.
I don't see him on this. I don't. It's the people that live in this world, and if it's their bubble to live in and play in, if they want to make millions and lose millions playing in this bubble, go play in your bubble.
Here's the danger.
But when it comes out,
Yeah.
when you get out of that and you come out here to the real world,
Right.
don't be surprised that we call you a douchebag.
Well, here's the thing. You say people who in that bubble who want to play in that world.
Yeah.
The
And here we
only people who are in that world who want to play in that world are people who try and pump and dump and build up something so the average person spends their money on it and they sell out when it's high.
Yep.
That's the dangerous thing, and that's what makes it such a scam.
Yep.
And look, these are a scam. And let me get something straight here, by the way. NFT technology is not a scam. NFT technology and functionality is not a scam. Where actually, I think very soon, we will all be using NFT functionality for contracts. Every contract that you sign will have a digital certificate of authenticity associated with the blockchain, which for the most part, nothing's unhackable, but for the most part, it's unhackable, right? So very soon,
the brute force that you would need to be able to crack and manipulate the blockchain would be, the value wouldn't be there for your standard coin. I mean, you would literally have to be selling freaking Jupiter to make the value there.
Right. So I think very soon we will all be.
Although I will sell Jupiter.
Well, I
I'll
think
give
very
you an
soon.
NFT for it.
I think very soon our own identities, social security numbers, everything will be tied in to an NFT that is essentially our identity. I think that's going to happen sooner than later. However, do I think you should go out and spend $50,000 on a JPEG? I'm not so sure.
No.
I don't think that's a great investment at this point.
I don't
Because
think
here's
it's a
the
great
thing. You guys
investment.
literally saw me right-click and download that same image. There is nothing stopping me from printing out 1 million copies of that and posting them everywhere that I possibly can. Now, look, I can't sell that artwork because it still belongs to the artist. The artwork itself doesn't even belong to Logan Paul. It belongs to the artwork. It belongs to the artist. So if the artist actually wanted to take that artwork and sell it, guess what? He totally could.
And sell it and sell it and sell it and sell it. And then let's say you spent $600,000 on this piece of digital artwork. Now everybody in the world has it. Let's say they don't even buy it from the artist.
And that's
they just all right click and take it.
And that's it. There's nothing stopping me from
no
using it as
value.
my background. I can print it and I could have it right here as artwork right behind me. Guess what? Nothing's stopping me.
Yeah, nothing at all.
So
Google a couple of years ago started trying to lock down on the Google Images stuff because people are able to just click it up. But you know what? It's the way of it. You can't get around that.
Right. I think the world is still getting their heads around how to handle digital copywriting.
Yep.
I think we'll get there eventually. I don't think anybody has the right answer yet. Now, do I think your comment, David Leffingwell, that implied that some people might be using this as a money laundering scheme, David Leffingwell? I'm not. Look, I would never.
Absolutely.
I would never say such a thing about.
There are people laundering money left and right with this stuff, and there are people using this for.
Of course, there are.
I don't want to go on anything that gets close to political, but
if I were involved in organized crime, that's the first thing I would do. Look, if I were Walter White, I would open an NFT shop right now.
Yes. Yes. Now. If your local neighborhood gang doesn't have its own NFT shop, what are you even doing?
You tell me that look, we're not getting political. This is just a simple fact. You tell me that every terrorist organization in the world isn't selling NFTs just to get a little bit of that sweet, sweet cheddar. Tell me it's not.
Yes, and finding ways to launder the money through. Let's not say that. And tonight's been a wonderful evening. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Our hour is about up. Actually, I think it is up.
Yeah, we'll run before Facebook kicks us off.
Yeah, because we're up against
some
topics here that can go real sideways real quick. And to be honest,
but if you guys want to join our mastermind, and by mastermind I mean just shooting the breeze with us while we drink beer, leave a comment or hit us up in the DMs, and we will send you a link to Skype. And we'll be more than happy to invite you to the Underdog. It used to be Underdog After Dark. We're kind of going with Underdog Mastermind right now.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot more fun.
Yep. So, and we'll see you guys then. And hopefully I'll still be under quarantine officially next week. Next Wednesday when we come back. But hopefully I'll be feeling a ton better, and we'll have some firecracker topics to get onto, because I got to tell you, trying to follow this one up is going to be I'm actually quite good. I'm glad that I was a little more subdued tonight, because had I been in my normal on point self, man, this would have been a topic that we just it dances up so close to some real dangerous stuff. So
it got real close to politics tonight. We were hoping.
It really did, and there's other things that go along with it too. So we're gonna walk away from that, and for any of you guys want to join us afterwards, we'll see you. For the rest of you guys, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, David, I hope you feel better, and I've been West. This guy's been David, and we will talk to you soon.
We'll see. you.